Good morning, everyone, and all of those who may be tuning in using our social media on this early summer Friday morning. It's something new that we are diving into to make our district accessible to everyone. And I appreciate all of those of you that came out this morning. I know the rain's starting to spit, so thank you again. As a representative of your local school system, our team, our school system team, and I want to emphasize team, we've got a lot of members here that have put together a presentation as another way to keep our stakeholders connected to what is happening in Oregon City Schools. You will see members of our Board of Education, administration team, union leadership, and community partners all take part in this presentation. We have prepared a somewhat scripted presentation, but with any live activity, we may ad-lib a bit and may have a few goofs. You just never know. So anyways, thank you very much for being here. My name is Hal Gregory, and I've been a part of Oregon City Schools for 15 years, and I've been blessed to be the superintendent for the last 2.5 years. This brief hour-long presentation is meant to inform you, inspire you, and thank you for supporting and engaging with Oregon City Schools. We specifically invited members of our business community to begin the expansion of local partnerships, which is fastly becoming a more beneficial way to meet the needs of our business and community partners while supporting the ever-changing needs of our students. This morning, you will hear from individuals who represent the various operations within OCS, including an updated financial picture, current operations and facilities planning, instructional needs of our students, and what we are doing to connect better with the community. Again, thank you all very much for coming out this morning. I would like now to introduce our Oregon Board of Education. Serving as a public school board member is not easy. Representing the various opinions and ideals of the local community is a huge responsibility. Board members have to balance ever-changing policy, financial pressures, small talk everywhere they go, and all my crazy ideas. The board has embraced the strategic planning process, which is why we are making such progress in this district so quickly. I can't thank each of these individuals enough for their ongoing commitment to Oregon City Schools. I would like to start and just introduce Carol Ann Molnar, our board president, who has been a board member for 8 years. So let's give her a little round of applause. Next, our vice president, Mrs. Heather Miller. She has been on the board for 4 years. Michael Shea, board member, has been on the board for 6 years. Mr. Keith Kennedy, he's our baby. He's been on for just 2 years, but doing a fantastic job. And our 5th board member, Mr. Jeff Savitsky, could not be here due to work commitments, but he's the long-standing board member with over 10 years of service. So thank you, Jeff Savitsky. Of course, we cannot do what we do without the great teachers and support personnel. I like to say that education is one of the most harshly judged lines of work someone can be in. Going to school is something most everyone has experienced and have strong feelings about what is right and what is wrong, based on their own experiences in school. Our teachers and employees balance the extreme diverse needs of students, parents, and families every single day. I would like to publicly thank all our employees for their hard work and daily dedication to Oregon City Schools. Here to say a few words representing the Oregon Federation of Teachers and Public Education, Mrs. Terry Hook, President of OCFT.
Good morning. Thank you, Superintendent Gregory, for inviting me to speak this morning. I am a very proud product of the Oregon City School System, having attended Coy Elementary, Bassett Junior High, and Clay High School. I am forever grateful to the excellent educators that helped prepare me for college, where I became the first college graduate from either side of my family. I am also blessed that my husband, Greg, and I, after college, were able to buy a home and raise our 3 children here in Oregon. All 3 of our children have now received an excellent education from the school system. 2 have completed their college education, and 1 is currently a junior in college. I have been able to experience this system as a student, a parent, and professionally as a veteran master teacher, having served this district for 30 years. I know what the OCS seal of family, tradition, and community truly means, and respect the mission we are promoting. Today, I am extremely proud to be here representing the Oregon City Federation of Teachers, alongside members of the Board of Education, administration, and community leaders. Our union of professionals represents approximately 250 teachers, counselors, psychologists, and other school personnel that provide high-quality teaching and support services for the district. OCFT is affiliated with the American Federation of Teachers and the Ohio Federation of Teachers, and as a community of professional colleagues, we are dedicated to the mission of public education. We are public school proud. It has been proven that classroom educators are the single most important factor for the successful learning of students. As educators, we know firsthand what working positively and effectively in our schools can accomplish and what the school district must do to better meet the demands of the changing world while our students overcome the many challenges they bring to school with them every day. The OCFT will continue to advocate for working conditions that allow us to educate most effectively and pursue education policies and programs that enhance the right for every child to have the best public education experience possible. I have been engaged in union leadership for the past 15 years, same time that Mr. Gregory has been with us, attending most school board meetings during that time. I have a very vivid memory of a school board meeting in 2005 when I listened to a treasurer's report that forecasted the negative impact of Ohio House Bill 66 and what it would have on our district. The picture was not a pretty one. Having taught in the district since the early 80s, I had experienced a few years with some minor financial hiccups, but mostly there were years of steady competitive salary schedules and above average health care coverage. I somehow knew the road ahead was going to be much worse. During the very difficult times adjusting to budget losses caused by House Bill 66 and the recession, the Oregon City Federation of Teachers took a prominent role in aiding and assisting the Board of Education and Administration through the crisis by agreeing to major salary and health care benefit concessions. We moved from being a district in the top third of regional teacher compensation to remaining steadily in the bottom third. I'm very happy to say it seems we've turned a corner. It is actually very hard to describe the wonderful feeling of relief that I experienced at the recent July board meeting when our treasurer was able to declare that our district's finances are finally stable. Our school system is now on the right trajectory to make this district a system of choice for future teachers, school personnel, and families. I want to thank Mr. Gregory and the board for already providing the OCFT with the opportunity to share our voice in the strategic planning process this past year. The OCFT and the Oregon City Schools have found our greatest successes working together, including the passage of the 2015 General Operating Levy, supporting the Oregon Schools Foundation, and providing high-quality professional learning through our AFT Educational Research and Dissemination graduate coursework and supporting our residency programs. We are stronger working together, and as president of the OCFT, I look forward to collaborating and sharing ideas with the Board of Education and Administration in the next school year as we continue to move forward and make OCS the best it can be. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Hook. Obviously, our employees, like I said earlier, are the heart of what we do. Along with our teachers, we have fantastic, hardworking, classified and support staff that are here all summer doing all those things behind the scenes, and I just want to say thank you again publicly to all those folks. Next, I am proud to introduce our district treasurer for over a decade, Mrs. Jane Fruth. Mrs. Fruth will share with you our upcoming financial picture, so please welcome Jane Fruth. Yep. Is that all right?
Yeah, I'll put these on. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. I wanted to provide a brief overview of district finances, and I wanted to start with a very broad look at our operating budget. Per the City of Oregon Tax Department, Oregon City Schools was the 7th largest employer in the City of Oregon in calendar year 2016. Now, the graph presented would only include employees who lived or worked within the city boundaries. We actually sent out 742 W-2s last year, with 2 schools in Jerusalem Township. The employees that do not live in the city would not be included in these numbers. But I wanted you to understand we do have a large staff. It gets elevated because, of course, when we have a classroom teacher who's ill, we need a sub. Buses do not drive themselves when a bus driver is ill. So that does increase the number of staff that we do have. We have been as high as the 3rd largest employer in our community. But with the major construction, and I don't know if you noticed the pipelines going through our city, we've slipped a bit. But that's a good thing. We live in a thriving community, and that's a good thing. Our total district operating budget is $54.5 million. 79% of our budget, or $43.2 million, is made up of the general fund, and the general fund takes on the regular operations of our district. The next largest budget share would be the bond fund, where we are paying off the debt taxpayers approved for the construction and remodeling of our district buildings. We refinanced this debt several years ago for lower interest rates with success, but the payments will continue for another 15 years on this building debt. The 3rd largest share of our budget, at 5%, is the federal grant expenditures. These are the special education funds, the school improvement funds that we apply for annually. Now, there are a lot of hoops that we have to jump through, but they're well worth it for the services they provide to our students. The district collects real estate taxes, which are from our homeowners and businesses, to support 3 of the funds: the general fund, the bond fund, and the permanent improvement fund, which Dean will be discussing later. But those are the 3 that are primarily supported with tax dollars from our community. Now, I'm going to concentrate for a little bit on just the general fund, because that's really the one that provides the majority of our expenditures. From the graph on the screen, you can see that our local real estate taxes, the darker blue area, provide 47% of the revenue to our general fund. The state foundation, which I'm sure you've heard everybody says is flawed, represent 27% of our foundation. And that's just the monies that go through the formula of the state. That's 27% of the general fund revenue. Other state revenue is made up of monies we receive for career tech funding, and there's some economic disadvantage funding we receive. Homestead and rollback, the hold harmless 11%, includes the monies the state pay us for the homestead and rollback taxes that are given credits to taxpayers. However, that 11% also includes, last year we received $3.7 million of the tangible personal property tax replacement monies that we were still receiving last year. And that, of course, is the money that the state sent to us to make us whole when they changed the law and took away the personal property taxes for school, or tangible personal property taxes, excuse me. They created a category activity tax, and those monies then were funneled back to us through the tangible personal property taxes. The last source of revenue is other operating income, which includes open enrollment, some rental income, tuition from other districts, etc. So last year, if you look on that other half, we received over half of our money from state funding. And you can also see that as we've lost, well, I guess you can't see that here, but as we've lost tangible personal property taxes, we have become a little bit more dependent on state money. The right side of the film, or the slide, excuse me, is a summarization of the state foundation revenue estimates we received from the state budget office next school year for fiscal year 18. State foundation revenue, again, formula funding. The state formula for pupil aid was increased by 3% for next year, which that's exciting. So there was an increase in state foundation. But as they continue the process of reducing the replacement monies of tangible personal property payments, it wipes out most of the increase to the point that it's almost negligible. Now, it is an increase, so we're not whining here, but it becomes pretty clear. I want to go through this with you. You see we get the 3% increase on our state. They subtract the tangible personal property replacement monies. We end up with $28,000 of an increase, which is a 0.2% increase in our state foundation funding. For enrollment of this is our foundation enrollment, which is different than our regular enrollment. It's a state thing, I apologize. But our enrollment is $35.71, which comes to an increase of $7.09 per pupil. Now, I'm not throwing another district under the bus. I'm just trying to show you the devil's in the details. But another Lucas County district, they did get a 3% increase, just like us. They are not losing. They never had the tangible personal property tax that we had. So they're not losing that. So in fact, they are getting a 3% increase of $74,000, a little lower enrollment. So they're getting $79.90 per pupil. The devil's in the detail. This is just the state formula. It is what it is. I just wanted to make it clear that, frankly, without the help of our community and the City of Oregon has been working with a natural gas plant for payments to our district for the next 15 years. Without that, we would be anticipating very flat revenue streams. Our community is essential to the fiscal stability of Oregon City Schools, and we cannot say that often enough. Thank you. Because we rely so much on our local community and taxpayers for support, it's important that we show that we are managing our monies well. There are two important benchmarks that I like to keep in front of the Board of Education to show and to maintain fiscal stability. Those are true cash days and the percentage of salaries as a total of revenue. So salaries and fringes as a total, as compared to total revenue. Excuse me. We are very cognizant that whether we're talking about state monies or local revenue, it is all taxpayer money. It's important that we are providing our services as efficiently as we can, and as with most businesses, there's always room for improvement, but we have come a long way. In terms of efficiency, with the data from 2016, now, unfortunately, 2017 is not available yet. We just closed our year end in June 30th, and this comes from ODE, and they would not have that yet. But we are showing that we're in the lower half of costs for districts, both with and without career technology provided in their district. Districts in red are the districts that have career tech as part of and inside their local high school, and we're part of that. And I tried to get a lighter red for Oregon. That's kind of a crappy color there, but we're right in the middle, okay? So I apologize, that's not as good as it could have been, but we're right in the middle, and you can see of both types of districts. The blue districts contract with Penna Career Center for their career tech services, and it's provided off campus. And again, we're smack in the middle of both types of districts. I don't have a slide for this next benchmark, but I think it's fairly self-explanatory. Oregon City Schools is a service organization. Our largest expenditure is always going to be salaries and fringe benefits. Our raw materials get on the bus every morning to come to school. We aren't buying anything like that. So I like to take a look at salaries and fringes as a percentage of total revenues. ODE recommends a district stay below 80% because you have to have sustainability. At the end of fiscal year 17, our salaries and fringe benefits were 73% of our total revenues. And as long as our enrollment holds up, we are sustainable. Another sign of sustainability. The second ODE recommended benchmark is the need to have 30 to 90 true cash days at the end of a fiscal year. True cash days really just means the number of days of operating cash you have on hand. I have a graph showing our true cash day history. There were some bleak days there. But this past 5 year, but at the end of fiscal year 17, we had 97 true cash days. And this past 5-year forecast was the first time we were able to report that we were projecting to have 60 to 90 true cash days throughout the entire future 5-year period. We are in a very stable financial period at this time. Thank you to our community and the City of Oregon. Finally, we strive to be a good deal for our local taxpayers, good service for a reasonable cost. From the slide, you can see that we are below the average for all Lucas County districts in terms of cost to taxpayers. And it should be noted that the bottom 3 districts on this graph have a school district income tax in addition to the millage paid by homeowners. So that's really not a true reflection of their cost, but that's why I put that in there. As a district, we will never be done looking for improved efficiencies in how we provide excellent educational services to our community. But we are very pleased that we can provide a stable picture of our finances at this time. And part of the reason for our stability and our reduced and improved efficiencies is Mr. Dean Sandwich, who will come back and discuss the operating of our district. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Dean Sandwich, and I'm the Director of Business Affairs. As such, I'm committed to the support side, the operations of Oregon City Schools' mission, which is to maintain a safe and secure learning environment that provides all students with the opportunity to obtain knowledge, skills, and abilities necessary to be successful in the 21st century. The main source of funding for operations is the Permanent Improvement Levy, the PI fund, providing about $1.5 million annually toward items with a lifespan of 5 years or greater. None of these dollars go towards salaries or benefits, but rather they go to facilities, technology, vehicles, curriculum, and equipment to support the teaching and learning in this district. You, like me, may think that $1.5 million is a lot, but this district, as Mrs. Fruth just said, is quite large. And there's plenty of competition for these dollars to fund the great projects that we do every year. The largeness of this district is quite impressive as well. We own 162.5 acres, nearly 19 acres of which are under roof. So 800,000 square feet our custodians clean every day. Additionally, we have 34 acres under concrete and asphalt to maintain. And that keeps our maintenance department pretty busy, especially in the winter. We have 45 buses on 43 active routes traveling nearly 588,000 miles annually, or just over 2,900 miles per day. To put that into perspective, it's nearly the same distance from Oregon, Ohio to the state of Oregon, and we drive that daily. In the cafeterias, we've served nearly 450,000 meals last year in our 6 cafeterias, an average of over 2,500 meals every school day. So the PI fund primarily supports this operation. I'm going to hit the highlights from the PI fund expenditures. You know, we complete between 90 and 100 projects each and every summer, so I'm sure you won't mind me hitting only the highlights. First, improvements are the bulk of our spending in the last 5 years, making up 42% of the PI spending. And these improvements are maintaining the 7 campuses which make up Oregon City Schools. Highlights include the transition from fluorescent and metal halide lighting to LED lights. You may have heard other districts like Maumee or Toledo Public doing a large one-time switchover to LED lighting using contractors. Well, we've been doing this work in-house for the last 3 years. In doing so, we've saved thousands of dollars in both electricity use, but also the bid process itself. We have the ability to do that in-house. Additionally, we're saving future dollars in the disposal cost of getting rid of the hazardous fluorescent tubes. We've replaced so far 177 parking lot lights, which light all of our parking lots through the district, and over 4,000 classroom and hallway lights. And including the labor to install the LED lights will pay for themselves in less than 2.5 years. Also of note, the full district, every classroom air conditioning. In just over 1 year, our maintenance staff wired and installed just under 200 air conditioners to make the learning environment ideal, especially in the hot days that start the school year. The energy levels of both students and staff are evident, and teaching and learning have improved as a result of this addition. Plans now are in progress to condition the 3 beautiful auditoriums that we have in our district. We're fortunate to have the community use our auditoriums year-round. With the classroom air-conditioned, it's a logical next step to condition these bigger areas. The second largest area of the PI expenditure is technology. Now, Jennifer Conkle, our Director of Teaching and Learning, will speak more about the impact in the classroom, but the point that I'm trying to make is that we've made a real and concerted effort in providing technology and curriculum needed to prepare our students to be successful in the 21st century. 36% of the fund was used to support these 2 areas, curriculum and technology. And it's hard, if not impossible, to separate the 2 areas, as learning really is a blending of those 2. The next area is vehicles. As noted earlier, buses comprise most of our vehicle fleet, but we do have 11 other vehicles, and trucks, a van, Jeep, and a dump truck. We have a bus replacement program whereby, out of this fund, we purchase 3 buses per year at a cost of around $75,000 per bus. And when we talk about a handicapped accessible bus, it's over $100,000 per bus. So our fleet is renewed every 15 years, approximately. The average lifespan for a bus in Northwest Ohio is about 12 years, so I thank goodness every time I get a chance for our great mechanics that we have. Equipment, services, fees, and permits make up 5% of the spending. It includes items like boilers, our tool cat, cleaning equipment for our custodians, and items like engineering, architectural costs, and permits. And much of this cost is really the cost of making improvements, but it's the cost of doing things correctly. And the last item is the lower in the dollar amount, but probably more effort and attention has been spent in safety than any others. We take safety of our students and staff very seriously. So we spend a lot of time and energy in preparation and training. We have a great partnership with Oregon Police Department, Oregon Fire, Jerusalem Fire, and the Lucas County Sheriff's Office in making a model that's being copied by schools across the state. We have an adequate camera system in each one of our schools and on our buses. But the other exciting improvement that's coming up very, very shortly, in fact, we're in the planning stages now, is that we are upgrading the camera systems so that we can provide even a more safe environment. So you got to stay tuned on that. Next year, I'll be talking about that. So all of the while, we're looking at the most efficient, most cost-effective way to operate our district. We measure everything and search for ways to cut costs. Some examples are our natural gas, where we've reduced our cost to 1/3 of the cost it was in the 09-10 school year. This can be explained by new and more efficient boilers, extending the gas line from Eisenhower out to Jerusalem, which allowed us to now use natural gas instead of fuel oil to heat that facility. We do get some residual dollars coming in by residents being able to tap into that line that's going out. So we get that for a little while longer. Further, we work with Palmer Energy consultants to help us secure the best rates possible in both gas and electricity. All of these things, in addition to having two of the warmest winters in recent history, have contributed to the dramatic reduction of heating costs in our district. But you can also see just a couple years ago, on the graph, the green actually represents what we anticipate this year. We're still waiting for the last bill to come in from that. But you can see in 13, 14, 14, 15 is when we didn't have such a warm winter and we had lots of snow. But that trajectory line is still pretty dramatic and down. Electricity is really much harder to measure. Our solar and wind are adding stability to the volatile energy market. And all the while we're adding more and more devices and now adding room-to-room air conditioning, we just have this insatiable need to plug in places. If you look on our wall out there, we now have charging stations for our computers and our students. The savings part of using LEDs is realized when we use 37% less energy to light the inside of our classrooms that have LEDs and 66% less to light the exterior. So our future absolutely looks bright in Oregon schools. The district telephone cost is another great example of finding better, more efficient ways of doing business. By using more current technology and by reducing unneeded phone lines as a result of that technology, we've saved over $10,000 per year for the last 2 years. We've eliminated all but one fax machine district-wide. Some people that makes kind of cringe, but all incoming faxes are converted to an email and sent off to the end user. And most everything that we are to fax, we are able to scan and send out. But that savings is real at $10,000. So no operation is exempt from our scrutiny. Really, all we do is for the benefit of our students. And moving forward, we're working to make real connections. Connections come in many different forms. We match our current vendors up with our students for senior projects, for guest speakers, field trip sites, or mentoring, or for employment. Connections can also come from creating business opportunities within our own buildings. We have Sun Federal Credit Union opening a branch here at Clay High School. We have Mercy having our health center also here at Clay High School. We're just looking for all of the different ways we can benefit our students. Our OR connections can be like our maintenance department working with our students with special needs in conjunction with Gateway Recycling, which is located right off of Navarre Avenue, to collect and recycle over 16 tons of paper and cardboard this year, fundraising over $2,000 for our organizations throughout the district. But more valuable than that, the training that these students received, and I'm also happy to say employment opportunity for some of our students. I'm excited to see what's in store for Oregon City Schools this year and look forward to coming back and reporting out next year. Thank you. It's now my pleasure to introduce Jennifer Conkle. Jennifer is the Director of Teaching and Learning. Jennifer.
Good morning. My name is Jennifer Conkle. I have worked for Oregon City Schools for 20 years, starting as a 5th grade teacher at Star Elementary, as well as serving the district as a building principal. I now support Oregon City Schools as the Director of Teaching and Learning. In June of 2010, the Ohio State Board of Education began the adoption of Ohio's new learning standards. Along with the adoption of the standards, Ohio also rolled out a series of tests aligned to the standards. These tests are a measure of how well students have mastered the standards from one year to the next. Our teachers have unpacked Ohio's learning standards and are defining what mastery of those standards look like in Oregon City Schools. We are also developing common assessments to evaluate the effectiveness of our instruction and monitor student progress. With such a great emphasis placed on the teaching, learning, and assessment of standards, it made sense for Oregon City Schools to report student progress based on Ohio's learning standards. When you report student progress based on standards, it is referred to as standards-based grading. We have currently implemented standards-based grading in grades K through 6 and continue to explore standards-based instruction and reporting in grades 7 through 12. The learning standards and state assessments have brought with them increased rigor, which requires a higher level of thinking. Rigorous learning experiences are complex and help students acquire knowledge and concepts that can be applied in a variety of educational and career contexts. As teachers design their units of study, a greater emphasis has been placed on rigorous learning through reflection, analysis, and problem solving to increase student achievement on state assessments, as well as prepare students for college and career success. As we look to the future, we want to increase the relevance of our curriculum through application-based learning. Application-based learning is student-centered and requires the student to apply knowledge and skills to new, unpredictable, real-world situations. Students are engaged in authentic problem solving and make connections to careers outside of the school environment. As we prepare kids for a global society, teaching the core content standards must be enhanced by incorporating the 4 C's of learning: critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and creativity. It is imperative that our students have the opportunity to engage in rigorous, relevant, real-world problem-solving activities that support the development of the 4 C's. Communication involves expressing thoughts clearly and connecting with people, places, and organizations. It is a two-way process of reaching mutual understanding in which information is exchanged and meaning is created. Collaboration is essential because it is rooted in the nature of how tasks and projects are accomplished in the workplace. 50 years ago, much of the work was accomplished by individuals working alone. Today, work is accomplished in teams, and in many cases, teams who are working remotely from different geographic locations. Critical thinking is the careful analysis of problems, allowing one to judge assumptions, reflect on underlying ideas, and connect learning across content areas. Creative thinking allows for expansive, open-ended invention and the discovery of possibilities. It is a procedure one utilizes to build on ideas which are useful, unique, and worthy of more elaboration. This school year, we will be focusing on the area of communication through the review of the implementation of a K-12 writing program called Step Up to Writing. Step Up to Writing was fully adopted last school year. The proper implementation of this program across all grade levels will ensure a strong writing curriculum, providing our students with the necessary skills to be effective communicators. In American public schools, we educate all students, and when I say all, I mean all. The goal of educating all students sets our education system apart from other countries, where select students are given the opportunity to earn an education. Oregon City Schools embraces the goal of public education and provides educational options for all students. In addition to the general courses offered at Clay High School, students can choose from 10 career and technical pathways, over 20 honors courses, an interdisciplinary humanities program, and 6 advanced placement courses to meet their individual learning goals. Students whose learning needs exceed grade level expectations or are identified as gifted and talented have the opportunity to learn at a different rate and depth at all grade levels. This is accomplished through subject and grade acceleration, pull-out programs, and specific courses designed for the gifted learner. We also educate students with disabilities in our special education programs and offer a wide range of services for our students with special needs. Learning is tailored to the student's individual needs based on their disability, which includes students who have specific learning disabilities, those who need related services, such as speech therapy, and students with significant learning delays. All students have access to technology within the classroom setting. Our K-6 students have regular access to Google Chromebooks. Students at Facet Junior High are issued Google Chromebooks, and Clay High School students are issued a Mac laptop through a one-to-one technology initiative. Technology adds excitement, increases differentiation, provides for the use of more higher-level thinking skills, increases achievement, and better prepares students for the changing world in which they will live and work. Digital tools elevate instruction and allows for the creation of tasks that were once unimaginable. The extensive educational pathways offered by Oregon City Schools sets our district apart from other districts in the area and allows all students the opportunity to reach their full potential. Thank you for your time and attention this morning. I will now turn the presentation back over to our superintendent, Mr. Gregory.
By the way, happy birthday. It's Mrs. Conkle's birthday today. How exciting is that? Okay, again, thank you all for coming out this morning, and for those who are watching, as superintendent, I want each of you to feel proud and excited about our school system and all the activities and experiences our students have throughout the district. Thanks to everyone in the community. When a student graduates from Clay High School, we expect our graduates to look back at their years in school and have a positive memories, and valued friendships. That's what we all remember, right? It's the memories. It's the friendships. We expect our students to be prepared, though, for college, for the military, and entering the workforce. The landscape of jobs is changing all the time, and our role is to prepare our students for jobs and experiences which haven't been invented yet. And that's something that is very hard for educators to wrap their minds around. The future real-world landscape is changing dramatically, and it is up to us to evolve with it. One of our primary initiatives is securing additional funds through outside private sources. Over the past several years, we have worked with the Oregon Schools Foundation to expand opportunities for our students. I am proud to say that Oregon Schools has contracted with Mrs. Amy Hansen, Clay alumni and proud parent, to serve as our Director of Development, providing outreach to local businesses and alumni. Mrs. Hansen also serves as the manager of the Oregon Schools Foundation, working with a volunteer board of directors on behalf of our district. Also representing OSF is Mr. Brent Shimon, local business owner and OCF proud parent. Mr. Shimon serves as president of OSF, and I would now like to invite both Brent and Amy up to say a few words.
Good morning and welcome. I just wanted to allow the community to put a name with a face. I'm Amy Hansen, and I've been a part of the Oregon Schools Foundation for about 5 years now. I've been running it as in the role of manager for about 3 years, and through that correlation and partnership with Oregon City Schools, we've been able to do some pretty amazing things in the last few years. I've also signed on in the role of development director for Oregon City Schools with Hal and the board. And once again, I'll be the person in the role of any type of partnership with businesses, the city, and the collaboration. So I'm very excited. The future is very bright here at Oregon City Schools. I'm a proud alum, community member, parent, and now part of the family, I suppose. I wanted to leave you with the mission of Oregon Schools Foundation, and then I'll introduce our president, Brent Shimon. Oregon Schools Foundation's mission is to provide resources to expand and enhance educational opportunities that inspire learning, enrich teaching, and create opportunities for students through community support. So we're always going to have teachers teaching here, but we're here to help enhance that experience. For opportunities that may not otherwise be able to be provided. So thank you. I'll introduce Brent Shimon, our current president.
Good morning. In short, pretty much Amy does everything. She's really the brains and the muscle behind the foundation. And the biggest word I think I can use with the foundation and the school system is collaboration. We're here to honor the donor in any fashion that the donor sees fit that meets and aligns with the Board of Education and the administration. So we'll take any crazy idea, but that doesn't mean that we can accept it sometimes. But the biggest thing I want to do this morning is give you an example of kind of what the foundation does behind the scenes. So Mr. Sandwich talked about the air conditioning in the auditoriums. Just last night, late, I got an email from one of the groups that is involved with that is desperately asking for that air conditioning, and was just asking me, how does it work with the foundation? Can we facilitate through it? If a donor wanted to give some additional funds, can that go through the foundation? The answer is yes, yes, and yes. The foundation was set up to honor donor requests. We're different than most foundations in that we do academics, athletics, and arts. So we're multifaceted. If somebody has a wish or a business or an individual that wants to help enhance the district, again, if it meets and aligns with the district and the administration, we can help facilitate that process so that they get the tax deduction. We're a full nonprofit. We've done a variety of projects within the district, most of the time behind the scenes, acting as kind of a conduit so that the donor gets the deduction and we handle the funds properly to ensure that the donor's request is honored. In my time with the foundation, I'm happy to say that the collaboration with the Board of Education and the administration has never been stronger. I've kind of seen this foundation come full circle from kind of in the background. Funds were almost going to be turned over to the state due to lack of activity. We are thriving now. We do our annual Frost Fest that's been sold out for almost 5 years in a row. The money that we're bringing in from that is growing. We've been able to get more engagement from the community and the business owners. And the collaboration now with Amy being kind of dual rolled with the foundation and the administration should really enhance the collaboration and get more engagement from the business community as well as alumni and members of the community. So with that, I thank you.
And I can't thank Brent and Amy enough and all the OSF volunteers, which are local parents and families and business people, because everything they do is for Oregon City Schools. And so without that, we'd have a big gap. So thank you again. Another primary goal is to continue the reconnection process with our alumni. Just as an example, one project moving forward is to work closely with the Clay High School Association of Friends, CHAFA as we know them, to develop a robust alumni database allowing our district to keep communication lines open with our alumni and keep them connected to our school system. You know, one of the hardest things is when the kids graduate in June or the end of May and off they go, is knowing what happens next. And so we are trying to put a system in place collaboratively with OSF to be able to stay connected with those individuals in whatever way we can moving forward. So I'm very excited about that upcoming project. Okay, in addition to the financial partnerships, we have found ways to utilize Clay High School in ways to benefit our students and our community. I want to highlight two of these dynamic partnerships. One has been in place and one is new. For the past 3 years, we have partnered with Mercy Health through the establishment of the Mercy Health Center at OCS. This center serves as a fully operating pediatric doctor's office led by our school nurse and pediatric nurse practitioner, Clay alumni, Sherry Sexton. And I just want to say, and I want to emphasize this, OCS is the first school district in Northwest Ohio, and probably in further reaching than that, with this type of facility available to our kids right here and our community. Mercy is a proud partner in various other ways throughout the district, and we are so blessed with their support. And here representing to say a couple of words on behalf of Mercy Health is Amanda Caldwell. Amanda, would you please come up?
Hi, thank you. I just want to say on behalf of Mercy Health, we have had some great partnerships with the Oregon City Schools. We participate with the special needs program, and it's encouraging as we see those kids in our schools doing job learning and life skills. And having a brother who has special needs growing up, it's near and dear to my heart, so I'm really supportive of that, and we're thankful that we have the opportunity to do that. Of course, partnering with a clinic is a great thing in the community. As an oncology nurse in the past, we've had some American Cancer Society events here that goes beyond Mercy Health, but through another organization. So we really feel that it's exciting to partner with Oregon City Schools to promote the health of our community and to start that with kids at a young age, and also to build our community together. It's very important to have a strong community, both for the health and wellness, mental, physically, and educationally. And so we're proud to be part of that. We found that Oregon City Schools have been a very trustworthy partnership. And we pride working with people that are trustworthy, because we feel we're a trustworthy organization, and we like to give back and work with those organizations that have the same mission in building our community and growing our kids. So we thank you very much for the opportunity, and we hope to do more projects in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. Beginning in September of this school year, we have partnered with Sun Federal Credit Union, establishing a new student-led credit union monitored and supported by employees of Sun Federal. Sun Federal was the original credit union started by our school employees. I don't know if anybody knew this, because I didn't know all this going into this. It was called the Oregon Township School Employees Federal Credit Union and began in May of 1957. And now they are, a very large and successful credit union. There is a long and connected history with this credit union. The program here at school has been the primary goal of educating our students in financial literacy with real-world application and relevancy. By providing access for our students during the school day for routine transactions and a place to ask financial questions, we believe our students will understand how to take care and understand money better at an earlier age. Again, I want to emphasize this, OCS is the first in Northwest Ohio, and if not beyond, to offer this type of in-school opportunity for our students to learn. So I feel like we're very much innovators in Oregon City School. In addition, Sun Federal will be placing a very visually engaging Clay Eagle-themed ATM machine down at the far end at Clay High School, accessible by students during the school day and the community during indoor sporting events. So here representing Sun Federal is Jackie Nelson. If you would come forward and say a couple of words. Thank you, Jackie.
Yes, good morning. Thank you. Thank you, Hal. We are very, very excited to be involved with this new innovative credit union at the schools, and the kids are more than excited. We've been working with, there's 6 students that have volunteered through the DECA program, and Ms. Robeson, who's the DECA teacher, she has been, very involved in this, and we're working on training them as far as the money handling, and they are also going to be behind the marketing of this credit union, and they are more than excited about that. They have probably better ideas than we have. We've let them be the lead on that, so it's very exciting. The opening day is September 13th, but you're going to see other announcements and activities to get the kids excited about it and the community, and we're opening this at Clay High School, but we're hoping that down the road we can take it to some of the other school buildings. And we are being watched by some other school districts because they're very interested in this, other school districts that we work with throughout the credit union, and they want this at their schools too, but they're watching us to see how well we do here, and I know it's just going to go great. So thank you.
Obviously, we're highlighting 2 very prominent and very visible type partnerships, but we have many, many more partnerships that we have on a smaller scales, and we can't thank all of those businesses enough. OCS wants to be the school of choice for our local students. Partnerships like these provide our students and community something special. And in today's landscape of education, something special is what we have to do. We are open to new innovative partnerships. Let me repeat that. We are open to new and innovative partnerships with our local businesses and individuals. We want to challenge our local businesses to get actively involved with our school district. It is a lot of fun. I mean, I know Jackie's been a part of a lot of meetings, but it is a lot of fun when you're putting these things together and knowing that kids are going to benefit. And it's certainly very rewarding when you have something that's special. So again, thank you. Just to highlight the amount of support we have in our community, I put up 2 ads that we started last year. So this one on the left is a donor ad we had in the press newspaper last year, and the one on the right is the one that's going to be going in this upcoming week. And if you look at those donor levels and the amount of individuals and companies, it is tremendous. And I want that to be a double-page ad sometime, because the amount of community support that a school gets is how successful the school's going to be. And so, again, we are very, very proud of all those companies, all those individuals, and I'm going to talk about the local boosters and bands here in a minute, about all the parent involvement that we have. So again, thank you to everyone who has contributed and supported our district. Okay, as you know, people and relationships they make are the cornerstone to any successful school. Our employees are the heart of everything we do for students in the community. Another partnership I would like to highlight is a legacy partnership with the Keller family. Over the past several years, we have formed a strong relationship with Dr. Tom and Jackie Keller and Judge Jeff and Lisa Keller, which are all Clay alumni. Dr. Keller has been volunteering his time for the past several years, offering strategic planning support, alumni outreach support, course relevancy coordination, and financial support for one reason: to give back to Clay High School, where he graduated from. I cannot thank Dr. Keller and his family enough for all the behind-the-scenes support that they provide. When the Keller family found out about our need to fund a new annual Employee Recognition Awards program, they stepped up to the plate, sponsoring financial awards for the employee winners. Again, thank you to Tom, Jackie, Jeff, and Lisa Keller for their deep caring of our school system and their financial commitment to us. And I do want to just take a moment and highlight the recognition of our first annual award winners. This was a process that we went throughout the year where we had nominations each quarter for teachers, for administrators, and for support service personnel. And then at the end of the year, a committee put together and selected 3 annual winners. And this is a poster that will be presented or will be mounted in each school building for the entire year. And then the following year's winners, then we will replace it with a new poster. So congratulations to Aaron Haar. He's a 5th grade teacher at Eisenhower Intermediate. Congratulations to Mr. Jersky, Mr. Jim Jersky, the principal here at Clay High School. And congratulations to Jan De Leon. She's a secretary in the Student Services Department for almost 30 years. So I just want to acknowledge those employees. Going back, I again want to thank the parents in our district, because the parents in our district are unbelievable. When you start looking at what happens every single day across this district that you don't even know about unless you're maybe intimately involved in those individual groups. It's just amazing. When you start adding up the amount of money that our parents raise and give immediately back to our schools, it's staggering. And if you look at this, and I just mentioned the Clay Athletic, Band, Academic, and Line Lighter boosters, and then the Facet, Eisenhower, Coy, and Star in Jerusalem. Between all of those, they've given probably over, I'm sure I'm missing something, $233,000 just this year back to those schools. That's worth a, you know, you hear about, you know, PTOs and PGAs, and we've got all these different names, but the bottom line is they all want to do things so that their students' experience at school is fantastic. And so I'm so proud of these groups, and I know our principals work with these folks hand in hand each and every day. And the key though, what I'm asking for and what I want to get better at, what I want our district to get better at, is we do a great job at those lower grade levels. And as their kids get older, the involvement goes down. And so I want to encourage parents throughout Oregon City Schools to stay involved till your kids graduate. There are ways, there are lots of ways to stay involved, because it's just as rewarding with the older kids as the younger kids. So again, thank you. Communication with our business leaders, parents, and community continues to be a priority. There has never been a time where knowing what is going on in our school system has been so easy. Over the past several years, our use of social media has increased to a point where social media is fastly becoming the primary method of kind of in-the-moment communication. We have tremendous response to our OCS Facebook page, along with our individual schools and organizational pages. We are live right now on YouTube through our Facebook page. This event is being recorded and can be viewed anywhere, anytime. We weren't doing that a year ago. I mean, it's the technology's been there, but it's something that we are going to start utilizing at a much, much higher level. I am very proud to promote our 2 new publications. 2 new publications. The new Bird's Eye View biannual publication promotes a variety of facts, short stories, and information in a colorful and visual pleasing way. I am very proud of my leadership team, Mrs. Hanson, our local design expert, Irene Bland, who worked together to design such an awesome publication. Have you seen those publications? If you haven't, there's a few sitting on the back table. It's an awesome thing. The second publication that is new is the Foundation Times newsletter published by the Oregon Schools Foundation, highlighting all the support and fundraising activities that organization is doing. Moving forward, I am proud to announce OCS has entered into a 5-year agreement with eSchoolView for an updated new website with the ability to coordinate calendars, social media in a much more easy to use manner. We want the user to find information easily and navigate freely. So we anticipate this new website will go live in the fall, and it's going to take some work. But keeping up with websites and all that stuff is very, very hard. But the new technology has allowed things to kind of filter into it, and we're very excited about that opportunity. What are our challenges and opportunities moving forward? School districts around the country face frequent headwinds with constant policy changes, unfunded mandates, and burdensome regulations, which takes away from our core mission to prepare students to learn and then graduate prepared for life, college, work, and the military. At Oregon City Schools, we do all four of those things very well, and I would put us up against any district in the area. Our educational goals are not solely focused on student test scores, like some would have you believe is the only measure of a quality school system. We continue to focus on providing an environment which students can come to and enjoy being a part of. One of the major challenges we face is preparing students for the ever-changing job environment, as we mentioned earlier. This image illustrates the skills our students need to master. It's not just reading, writing, and math. It's financial literacy, it's leadership, it's persistency, it's problem solving, and so much more. Finding information has become easier. Everyone has a cell phone. Everyone has a computer, or at least access. You could find information today. Kids can find information. Little kids can find information. But how do you utilize the massive amounts of information that are out there? That's one of our challenges in the public school system. Our challenge is to find creative ways to embed these types of skills into the mandated subject matter and standards our students learn each and every day. And that's what we're working hard to figure out. We have some additional challenges, which is tied simply based on our demographics in the area we live in. Many of you may not know, but our district has a large population of families who struggle financially. Oregon has an overall free and reduced lunch population of 47.5%. Not all our students are blessed with a stable home environment. We have a special education percentage of over 14%. We are very proud, though, of all the services we provide to each student population that we have, and will continue to always provide love and care to all of those students, no matter what the circumstances. Our enrollment is dropping, evidenced by the 10-year graph, as you can see up there. That's a reality. We simply are not seeing the same number of students per class as in the past. The last two classes have had about a 20% reduction, going from an average of 300 per class to around 240. And our current kindergarten enrollment is trending low as well, or right around that same pace. This is very concerning, but it is a reality. And I just wanted to tie in, this is why allowing open enrollment, which we've had for quite a few years now, provides some level of stability in our enrollment. And we receive students from Toledo and many other neighboring districts each and every year. And what we do is we fill the openings that we have, but it's not necessarily something we do in terms of adding additional staff and those types of things. So, it's a challenge, but it's a reality moving forward. Just want to emphasize the fact that levies are a part of the public school landscape, as we all know. This November, we will be asking our community to support a $2 million permanent improvement renewal levy, not a new tax. But what's so exciting about this one is this community has supported the permanent improvement money that Mr. Sandwich talked about for 50 years this upcoming year, when we've passed the original back in 1968. So obviously the community believes in what we do and utilizing this money, and we thank them for that. Although there is no planned levy for any new operating money, there will come a time in the coming years where OCS will go back to the voters with a request. It's a reality of how schools are funded. But we continue to work hard on a plan to keep the public informed with our what our financial situation is here and in the future. Okay, winding things up. We're excited about the future of OCS. I hope you can tell that. we're very excited. The fact that we're doing this type of event and we're always promoting ourselves. And we hope you are too. And that's what we want our community to know. We want you to be excited about what is happening. And here are just some highlights of things that are coming up in the coming year, that we hope to sit here next year and we can say, yep, that got done. Yep, that got done. Yep, that got done. If you've been in the back of our school system, you know we're building a brand new press box for Clay Memorial Stadium. It is almost 97% funded through donations, in-kind, financial, materials, etc. It is a wonderful project and it's going to be just an awesome piece of our facilities out there. So I'm very, very excited about the completion of that. We're going to have, as I mentioned, a new dynamic website. We are purchasing and will be planning for new English language arts and social studies materials through an annual rotation that Mrs. Conkle works on and with teachers. We are upgrading our junior high science facility, putting in a lab that is comparable to the high school science labs. We basically have tables like this, and we need lab tables like a real science, and we need to do that for our 8th grade kids, and we're going to do that this year, hopefully by December. As mentioned earlier, we also have a plan put together for air conditioning in our larger facilities, specifically the auditoriums, to start. There's a lot of usage in those things. It's not going to be an easy project, and it's going to cost a lot of money, and we have a lot of planning to do, but it is a goal of ours. Obviously, the Student-Run Credit Union at Clay, we are very, very excited about that and can't wait for that to get going. Continued focused communication with stakeholders, you guys and others. We want to ramp that up even more to be able to be accessible and to reach out. We talked about our alumni database. We talked about our security cameras. One of the things that you're hearing about everywhere is mental health support. We are partnering and looking for more partners in the area of mental health support for our kids. It is real. It's a world of challenges, and these kids, the idea of mental health, the heroin epidemic, the opioid epidemic, all those things are interrelated. We're just a cross-section of society as well as everybody else. We need to address that better than we are now, and we will. And we will be establishing a real formal business advisory council this year to specifically address the needs of our business community and make sure that we are talking on a regular basis and much, much more. So I'm very proud of those goals. And how can you help? All right? There's 6 ways that we kind of put in categories that anybody can help Oregon City Schools. How can you partner with us? Tell our story. If you heard anything today that you thought was interesting, share it with someone. Okay, there's a lot to share here. Please support our schools. Share your expertise with us. Okay, it's not all about just giving us money. There is a ton of expertise. I mean, just in the Student Credit Union alone, if you think about what the mentors are going to do for those kids that are running that student-led bank, they're getting wisdom and they're getting knowledge to get jobs or go into college or whatever. Partner with us on capital projects like the press box. If there's something that you are specifically excited about or interested in or want to do, let's talk. You can volunteer your time. We are always looking for volunteers all the time at every level. Certainly, we will accept financial donations through OSF or directly to the district. That is a big part of the public school system and where we're heading. The parochials have been doing it for years. We're just trying to catch up. And we have a course relevancy program. If you have a business and you're an expert in something and you want to work in the classroom with high school or junior high kids, teaching them about what you know, we have a program for you. And we can fit any expertise into somewhere. So please let us know if you're interested in doing that. I would like to end with a short video that was created just to illustrate what our kids are capable of coming out of Clay High School. If I can figure this out. Will the sound come through that?
We all have different ideas, different stories, different ways of seeing the world.
Turquoise is creativity, dream, independence, truth, and perfection.
But somehow we all represent one idea. An idea that calls for an unrelenting pursuit of knowledge. pursuit of friendship, a pursuit of discovery, a pursuit of success. All of these things start right here.
Student graduated last year, Jake Vrieslar, who's now going to college for this type of thing, is just one of those exceptional students who created that. And what a feeling that makes you feel good about. And we're going to do more of these types of things to share with folks. So thank you for coming out today. This concludes the State of the Schools address. We will be here for any questions you may have after it. And again, I appreciate you coming out this morning. Have a great weekend. Thank you.